is hit. And it does again. The ball is fumbled anyway.
Now what you just heard there was Clemson walking away.
Getting another chance at the college football playoffs, even though they don't deserve it.
Struggle win.
Struggle win.
Struggle win.
Kyle, you got anything to say about it?
Doesn't really shock me. I love Mac Brown, but his last few years coaching was just mediocrity, and I believe the same will be at North Carolina, with a ceiling of being maybe what Steve Spurrier did at South Carolina.
I mean, I think that's besides the point, though. Even if it is mediocrity, he almost beat the number one team in the country.
Well, the fact that they're playing with a team like that is good signs for the University of North Carolina, but
it's a bad sign for Clemson.
Yeah.
You just whooped Alabama's ass 8 months ago, and now you're struggling to beat North Carolina, who hasn't been relevant ever outside of basketball.
I mean, they're sometimes relevant in the ACC, but it's been at least like 4 years since then.
But when have they been?
The last good team they had was when they played Clemson in the ACC championship a few years ago.
That was Trubisky, wasn't it?
No, that was what was his name? I forgot that quarterback, but
no,
they won 12 games that year.
I know who you're talking about. I can't think of his name either.
But other than that, that's the only really good season they've had that I can recall.
And besides North Carolina being mediocre, like Trevor Lawrence does not look like he did last year at all. He looks completely lost.
Well, all quarterbacks that come out like that have. Tua hasn't looked like Tua from 2 years ago.
He has better stats now than he's had his entire
17
career.
Touchdowns,
yeah,
no picks.
But still, he didn't struggle once like he has this year. Almost every game they've struggled to get it going in the early start.
And I cut Trevor Lawrence some slack. The last Clemson quarterback that started out and had a bad season won the national championship, throwing 17 interceptions in that season.
That's true, but I don't know. Everyone was high and mighty on him at the beginning of the season, and right now he looks like at best a decent quarterback. Definitely not a Heisman contender like everyone said he would be at the beginning of the season.
Let's just look here. If it'll load. Probably won't. I mean, they're beating teams. They whooped up on Georgia Tech and Syracuse, which last year Syracuse took them down to the wire, and that was with a backup quarterback because Lawrence got hurt. But I don't know. I agree. They're also not playing. Nobody's playing the way we thought they'd play. Yeah. I mean, like I said, it took Alabama, the second half to score a touchdown against Duke.
Yeah.
They did. I thought they were. No,
if it wasn't second quarter, it was the second half.
It was the second quarter.
Well, either way, it's Duke.
Yeah.
But Duke's been on a good little streak since then. They're 3-1.
Yeah.
But who does Duke play?
The same teams that that Clemson plays.
I gotta say, a team that's really surprised me this so far, which I thought they would be good anyways, but I didn't think they would just be putting up the points and the stats like they are right now, is Ohio State.
I said the same thing with Oklahoma. Jalen's playing out of his mind.
Jalen is playing out of his mind. I think Jalen's playing pissed off, and he has every right to be. I mean,
yeah.
What else would you do when you got benched and then quarterback gets hurt? You lead your team back to not only a national championship, but another SEC championship.
A win over Georgia when they were down by 13 points.
It was
21-7, I
double
believe.
digits.
Yeah.
It was double digits.
Yeah.
So he's got every right to play the way he's playing, and he's got a chip on his shoulder because the last 2 Heisman winners have come from Oklahoma,
And he's
And-
outpacing them.
and that's
Yeah.
he's already played better than Kyler Murray.
What was
Just
that?
his last
Was that
game,
300 yards and
300 yards and 3 touchdowns in a game, and
That
Kyler
one
Murray,
half.
in 1/2, and Kyler didn't do it at all an entire season.
Well, speaking of another quarterback that's playing out of his mind, like I try to tell all of my Georgia friends he would, Justin Fields put up 6 touchdowns in a quarter. I mean, yeah, it was against nobody's school, but that's still kind of an insane stat.
Yeah, but he's also in the Big Ten. But it's really not saying much because you got Jacob Eason in the Pac-12, and I haven't heard much about him other than yesterday when
he really didn't do much yesterday, but he's had a few good games. When they struggle is when they just run it the entire game. Like their second game when they lost to Cal, they just ran it the whole time. They didn't let him do his thing, and they took a loss to Cal.
Well, that's what a lot of these coaches are doing. They're not letting their quarterbacks do their thing. Like last week, Notre Dame and Georgia, Jake Fromm only threw 6 passes in the first half. What the hell?
And he only
He's a
missed one.
quarterback.
Yeah.
He's your star quarterback.
I get it.
Projected first-round
your
pick.
potential Heisman winner.
Yeah.
He's a projected Heisman finalist, and you're
His
letting him throw
stats-
6 passes in the first half.
His stats are god. I mean, they're good, but they're like terrible compared to the other guys that are up for Heisman. Like Hurts, Fields, Tua, all of them. Their stats are out of this world. And Fromm's playing like you would think he would be against SEC teams, but they haven't even played an SEC team yet.
And with a team that's got talent that really no one except Clemson and Alabama can live up to, they cannot play as conservative like they did against Notre Dame if they actually want to contend for a championship this year.
Nope, you cannot play conservative against Alabama. That's for sure.
You can't keep playing to win, or you can't play to protect the score. You got to play to win the game.
Yep, foot on the pedal.
I mean, people want to give Saban crap for putting 50, 60 points on these like FCS schools, and it's like, really, he can't help it if his players still want to keep playing.
Right, and that's just not starters. I mean, how many points did Alabama give up yesterday?
30.
Yeah, 31, I believe. It was like 59 to 31, something like that.
See, that's why you got to put up those big points, because you take out your first string.
Well, and Alabama on defense is probably already they started the season out on basically second and third string in some positions because so many people got hurt before the season started.
And suspensions. I think they had some suspensions too, but you got to put up big points because of stuff like that. When you put your reserves in, hell, they don't play the whole game. Yeah, they're fresh, but they're also not in the swing of things. They're not ready to go, so they might get beat on a couple plays, and the score will be closer.
You take a team like LSU, they're going to have to keep playing like they are right now, with putting up all those big numbers. Because,
And they will because of the offense they run.
Well, yeah, but like also they gave up 38 points to Vanderbilt,
Yeah.
which Vanderbilt is probably the worst offensive team in the SEC.
Tennessee's got that spot right
but
now.
I think that was the first game that Vandy has scored 30 points in a game, and Tennessee's already scored 30 points in the first game, but it was against Georgia State.
And there's really no excuse for how their defensive play when they've got one of the best players in the secondary I've ever seen. That's
Who?
Grant Delpit for LSU.
Oh, okay. Making sure we're still talking about them.
Supposed to be like a top 10 pick, and they've
Well,
got
they're DBU. They're supposed to not give up points like that.
Yeah.
That's
there's no excuse for it.
that was their thing. They got voted as DB University, which I mean, I don't necessarily agree with that.
No.
I would honestly hand that
To Bama.
to Bama.
Alabama and Ohio State are the teams that are putting in the corners and the safeties
Yeah.
the past decade.
I mean, can you even name anyone outside of Tyrann Mathieu? from
Yeah.
LSU.
Uh,
I can't.
Peterson, Patrick
Yeah,
Peterson,
Patrick
Yeah.
Peterson, but
and Eric Reed, and Jamal Adams. But the thing is, it's just Alabama. They're doing this
every
on
season.
a yearly basis. Ohio State's doing this on a yearly basis. So their claim to fame isn't so much for me.
right. I think that was what, fan ranked, wasn't it? Didn't fans choose that or analysts chose
No,
it?
I think it was fan ranks because of they actually went by like stats and corners to the NFL. It would have definitely been Alabama because Alabama has more secondary players in the NFL than any other team by
Yeah.
far, by like I think 5 or more. I mean, yeah, LSU's up there. It's like I think it's Alabama, Ohio State, LSU,
Texas is up there.
Texas, and I think Florida are the.
Florida's up there pretty well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Florida's
I-
had some nice DBs come in and out, but
But you can't say you're DBU and then give up 38 points to Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt. But was that their first string that gave up the points, or I honestly haven't watched any games this year. I've only
haven't
watched
got
a handful.
I mean,
I watched maybe like the first week or two.
well, it was throughout the game, but the thing is, like, letting a
I
team.
mean, well, I get what you're saying. They shouldn't let a team like that give up or score
Nearly
38
40.
points.
Yeah.
You really shouldn't. That's just like damn Michigan. Oh, don't get me started on Michigan. They should have lost to Army in overtime.
well,
They should have lost to Army before overtime.
yeah, and the difference between that is, I think Army should have been ranked. And look what happened to them against Wisconsin. They almost weren't even ranked anymore. They dropped 10 spots or more after that game. I think they dropped to 20th, and they were 10 before that game, and Wisconsin made them look like a joke.
Well, I mean, look at the way they handled Nebraska. It was like
Yeah.
52 to nothing.
Oh, you mean Ohio State?
Was that Ohio State?
That was
Yeah.
yesterday.
Who did Michigan play? Rutgers.
Yeah,
Yeah, they still blanked them.
Yeah.
But-
I think, but
But that's the
it's Rutgers. Their coach got fired today.
Yeah, they did.
He got let go.
What about Penn State? They've been a team way under the radar. Especially for me, I didn't think they were going to be anything with their projected quarterback transferring before the season even started, and they just blanked Maryland Friday night, 59-0.
Really?
Yeah,
I did not know that. I haven't really kept up with Penn State, of course, since
but
McSorley and
Saquon
Saquon are
Barkley.
gone. Well, the Big Ten's always a toss-up.
Yeah,
Because, I mean, Ohio State can fuck up and they're going to lose to Purdue again. Or they could lose to Purdue, just like they did last year.
Yeah, but last year was like a different situation, and they were definitely Purdue was playing for that kid.
Well, they can still play for him.
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean,
no, I'm
but
not
still,
disagreeing with that,
well,
but
I mean,
they
I
had
know,
like
I mean, rest in peace, Tyler Trent. I mean, that was that was something. But still, I mean, you don't. If you're Ohio State, you don't blow a game like that. It's Purdue of all people.
yeah,
I mean, was Purdue even good when Drew Brees was there?
they were.
I know that's a little bit before our time, but
They were
Yeah,
like,
they, one or two good seasons, but
yeah. It's just
So-
how about this? Let's get on this subject that we were talking about earlier with these SEC fans criticizing other conferences about giving up so many points. Okay, let's talk about it like this: when you're going in
get them.
and you're basically running the fucking wishbone and I formation still, these other teams
Power offense.
like out in the Big 12, they're having to defend the spread week in and week out
And
from
then-
high-profile quarterbacks and high-profile receivers.
and you can't even cover the spread against, or you can't even cover the point differential against Notre Dame. I mean,
Oh, it's like I said, it's definitely different. The Big 12 is always touted as they don't have a defense. The Big Ten and Pac-12 are about the same way. I mean, but it's like you said, most teams in those the SEC is really the only conference where they're not running some type of shotgun offense. I mean, they might throw a little bit in there,
Yeah.
but every play's not an RPO.
No.
That's a run-pass
Yeah.
option for those of you that don't know what that means. But Georgia's not doing it.
Just a
Alabama's still.
They're doing
They're
a little
mixing
bit.
it a little bit just because of who their quarterback is.
LSU's finally
But-
mixing it up and running it, and you see
And
the
they're putting up
success it's doing
points.
for them. But let's look at it like this: when these SEC teams play some of these teams that run the spread in bowl games,
They get
what,
whooped.
what has happened to them?
They get whooped up on.
Last year, Texas versus Georgia. Georgia wants to run their try to run it down their throats the whole time. It didn't work. It was getting stuffed. Jake Fromm was getting sacked. What about Ohio State and Alabama? What happened there? They couldn't stop them. Ohio State was throwing it down their
Was that last
throat.
year?
No,
That was
last
2014.
year.
But
Oh yeah, because Ohio State went to the
the
national
same
championship
Cardell
that year.
Jones was
Yeah.
running it
Their
down
third
throat.
string
The
quarterback.
third string. Hold on. What's the name?
And well, everyone. I'll say this, playing devil's advocate. Before like the last 2 or 3 seasons, everyone wanted to say that the SEC didn't have offense, and that's what gave those teams
Well-
outside the SEC like
Well, it's
an
true
advantage.
because you know that they're going to line up under center with a tailback.
yeah, but then
That's easy
well,
to plan
look
for.
at
though.
the Georgia.
But you can run more plays out of a run pass
no, yeah, I agree.
run pass offense than you can a single back, or if you want to throw in a fullback. So technically, yes, that's true, just because of that aspect. Like if I got a team and you got a team, and you ran a I formation and I ran a spread, I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah.
going to defend you a lot easier than you're going to be able to defend
It's
me.
just so
Because I
easy
come
to
out
match
there
up.
and I throw out 5 wide receivers, you're going to be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You come out and you line up with your fullback and your tailback, I'm gonna be like, hey, watch the swing to the outside, watch it up the middle, or watch a cutback.
Hey, well,
and
and
you
that's
only
why-
got 2 receivers on the outside. I can defend you easily.
Well, speaking specifically to Georgia, because I feel like they're really the only team that runs that heavy. Why not just put more trick plays into your offense? Like, you should be running flea flickers like every game.
But yeah, but that's the only real trick play that you can get out of a single back pro style offense.
Well, hell,
I mean, it's just
do
a handoff up the middle, and he turns around and throws it back.
Just do the dead gum.
What, a hook and lateral?
No,
where
what's
they just
the-
pitch it all the time?
What's their
Statue
version of the
Liberty?
wildcat? The wild dog. Just run out of the wild dog more. Do something. Like
That-
change that offense up. Like keep using your
that
running
is,
backs, but
that's still kind of predictable though, because
It's either they're either gonna run a quarterback run. He may pass it, or they're gonna do a what's it called, where the wide receiver comes in motion and he gets the ball.
yeah.
end around,
Yeah.
sweep.
Yeah,
or-
a wraparound, end around,
Yeah.
one of those, whatever. Those are really the only options you can run out of a Wildcat.
And I'm not saying that they can't beat these teams because they got Oklahoma in the Rose Bowl a few years ago, but
and they
they
proved.
gave them heck. Oklahoma gave them all they could, and there was people coming out there saying how Georgia was just gonna walk all over them. The physicality would be too much for them, and it took them what, 2 overtimes?
You talking about when
In the
Baker
Rose Bowl,
with
yeah.
Baker? Yeah, but
But
look what
didn't
happened.
Georgia also come from behind in
Well,
that
it
game?
wasn't just that, but look at that last drive by Oklahoma.
The
The
play
ball
call.
was not in Baker Mayfield's hands. They
Yes.
ran the ball. You got
Lincoln Riley got scared.
you have the fucking
got
Heisman
conservative.
winner, and you want to run the ball. Let that motherfucker pass.
Yeah.
They could have
Well-
won that game. That game was
Yeah.
by bad play calling in the final. The final.
I kind
few
of agree with
possessions.
that, but you look at every drive in the second half up to that point, Georgia had kind of figured them out by that point. And, going back to that season, I said from the very beginning, if Georgia didn't win in that season, they would still probably be at least 2 to 3 years before they'd win because those seniors wanted it more than any other team.
Well, this is the second year, so.
Yeah. And and I
but they're
don't
playing
think they're going to
conservative.
win.
I don't think.
I think they'll probably be in the top 4 or 5 by the end of the season. But if they're if they're gonna stay how they're playing right now, they
can't
might
win.
as well not even show up.
Well, we know they got. Ooh, excuse me.
I mean, they don't have a schedule like Auburn, Alabama, LSU, Florida, where they're having to play 3 to 4 straight top 10 opponents, but they got to play Auburn and A&M and Florida coming up.
Well, don't forget they got Tennessee.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, they
I-
shocked them
okay,
a few
hold on.
years ago.
Yeah.
Granted, Tennessee was ranked higher, but
Yeah.
And Dobbs could throw the ball.
well, when you throw a 6-something defensive lineman into with the defensive backs, he doesn't know how to play coverage football. He's just standing there like, well, coach told me to slap the ball, and then he didn't because he jumped up and he doesn't know how to spot the ball. He's used to coming off the line
Yeah.
and going after the quarterback and looking at the ball from that angle, not coming down at your face. So, yeah, luck to Tennessee, but poor play calling by, was that Rick or was that Kirby's first
That was
year?
Kirby. That was Kirby's first
Yeah,
season.
a defensive fucking coach, and he throws Gronk.
Hold on,
He throws Gronk in with the DBs.
That's what I was gonna say.
Against
like,
fucking Miami.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Bill Belichick, probably the greatest coach in mind of all time, put Gronk in the fucking.
Do you know his dad coached at Navy?
Really?
His dad coached at Navy for like 40 years or something like that. So that's where that motherfucker gets his badassery from. It's the damn Naval Corps.
Come out there with him cut off fucking sweater and shit.
I
No
understand
wonder.
why he wears that jacket now. He's covering
Right.
up his sailor tattoo.
Right.
Yeah.
And
His tramp stamp.
He's all ass. I mean, you can't beat Belichick. I mean, you can if you're lucky, or you're well,
Or if
the
you're-
Philly special was lucky. Let's be
Well,
honest, because fucking
hold on.
Tom Brady screwed up his own. I mean, let's be
Yeah,
honest.
but let's be honest. Tom Brady's not the most athletic quarterback in the league.
No, he's
He's
not,
probably in
but
the
I mean,
bottom 5.
But if you're going to call a play like that, you got to know your quarterback's going to catch the ball.
Well,
Philadelphia
Hey,
knew that
he
Nick
almost
Foles would
called
catch
it.
the ball.
like
Oh,
they
well.
almost won that championship.
Yeah, well, they won the year before, so
Yeah.
it's all right. It is all right. Well, what else we got for?
Well, do you want to actually do an intro now? Because we're,
Sure, we're a good 23 minutes in. This is a re-recording of episode 1 to our lovely podcast titled "No Offense, But," because some of y'all motherfuckers are just too offended by
well,
things.
and we're not saying we're going to say offensive shit, except for maybe cussing. But, like,
Somebody
we're
might
giving
get
our
butthurt.
opinions on different subjects. Like, I'm sure we've already offended people during the football talk.
Yeah, like the whole SEC thing.
And
It's
that's
fine.
coming from someone that is an SEC fan, and I'm watching my team struggle every week right
Same.
now.
We're on our third quarterback over there in Southern California. It happens. So we're screwing the pooch, but I'm not butthurt about it. I just know, hey, we just got to win 4 more games and we got a bowl. That's all I'm worried about.
Y'all only won 2?
Yeah, we're
Oh, 2 and 2.
2 and 2.
Okay.
Wait. Yeah, because we lost to BYU and then Washington. So yeah, actually no, 3 and 2.
Yeah, yeah.
3 and 2.
Y'all beat Utah.
Yeah, we beat Utah. Who else? Damn, I can't think right now.
Well,
Utah,
Fresno State.
State.
That was the first one.
I don't know.
Shit, I'm drawing a blank here.
Stanford.
Stanford.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, there's the 3. Yeah, that sounds right. 3 and
Yeah,
2.
it was Stanford.
So yeah, we know we're going to offend people. That's why we named it. No offense, but
And because this generation is screwed up in the head, and y'all take everything
To
too
heart.
They're
seriously.
just spoon-fed. Just
Most of the things we say are going to be a joke, not a dick. So don't take it so hard, okay?
yeah, we may be assholes, but we're not 100% dicks.
Exactly. I'd rather be a butthole than a pee hole. Know what I mean? No, you don't know what I mean.
And we have 2 hosts, and today we have a special co-host, host number 1 or host number 1. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Say customer number 1.
ghost or
Ghost. I am Matt Chavez. Was this my idea or was it yours?
I think it was like co-idea.
Well, I started a podcast a little over a year ago that went nowhere because I was bored, alone, and I was stressful at my last job.
I'm alone.
So I cut that shit early, and I said, fuck it. Like a month ago, the idea just got brought up, and here we are. My main co-host is Derek Rich. Take it away, sir.
Yeah, most people know me by D-Rich.
D-Money, Swag Money, killing all these bitches.
I was
Fucking
like,
all these
I was like,
hoes.
please don't tell me you're doing that. But yeah, we came up with the idea. I mean, we've talked about it before in our friend group, like for a while. But now we're just going ahead and actually going to do it. Actually do something we said we're going to do for once.
Yes, exactly. I've
And-
said a lot of things, and we've never done them.
We're going to cover everything: sports, movies, music.
Porn, if you want. I mean, if you got a favorite
Cereal.
stripper you want me to check out, I got your back.
Um,
I'm just not gonna contract anything. I hope.
uh,
That's a joke, honey.
yeah. Theories, like conspiracies. We'll talk about like scary, spooky stuff, like stories that we've experienced, like some scary ass shit that we've
Yeah.
experienced in person. Which we'll probably do a whole podcast on that for next month because it's October right at. We have at least an hour worth of stories to tell.
Yeah, but most of all, we're planning to make your day a little better.
or piss you off.
Or or we'll make it worse. It depends on how you feel and how sensitive you are.
on your we have pretty dark humor, so
I have very dark humor.
yeah.
Like,
I
what's
mean-
the difference between
Oh,
a Lamborghini and, a stack of dead babies?
No, that's not the joke.
Yes, it is. There's
No,
not a
no, no, no.
Lamborghini in my garage.
No, it's like it's a pile. It's a pile of dead babies.
Who cares? Stack, pile, it doesn't matter. They're there. I mean, geez. Doesn't matter how the joke goes. It's humor, man. They get it. They get it. And yeah, we got a guest host tonight.
He'll probably be on more than most people, but
Possibly. It depends.
he can't be on all the time because he has a weird work schedule. Take it
And-
away.
Yeah.
My name's Kyle Rich, and yeah, going on from what they're saying, I work Thursday to Saturday till later at night, so I won't usually be able to hang out with these two.
In his defense, we do not have a set schedule yet. We haven't discussed that.
Because this is the
So-
second recorded in
Yes.
3 days.
Yes. We're a little fucked up right now. Not like fucked up, but we're a little discombobulated. I don't have a set work schedule just yet because I'm starting a new job. Derek's schedule's set. He works till like 4 or 5 every day or whatever.
But
3.
well, I have 2 jobs, so
Yeah, so it just depends on that. And Kyle's got his weird schedule, so we're figuring things out.
Yeah.
And
rolling with the punches, if you will.
yeah, rolling in the deep, Adele. So whenever these get posted, when they get posted, we'll figure it out. This one's going to go up tonight. It is Sunday, the 29th. I'll either post it tonight or I'll post it early Monday. We'll see.
We'll definitely post or try to post every week.
Yeah, it's definitely a weekly thing.
If, maybe more, but
Honestly, here's a good idea. We could do one like midweek. That way we can talk about how our week's going. We can review games, like sports games, like not actual video games, because that's gonna take a lot of time. You can't do that.
Yeah.
You can do it because you don't
Yeah.
sleep, Mr. Frickin'
Yeah.
Nocturnal. But we can overlook games, give predictions, stuff like that for college and NFL. And then, hell, that could be in the middle of the week, and then we can come back maybe Monday or Tuesday, whatever. Since there's Monday night games, and the NFL game starts on Thursday, so does college. So, we'll figure it out. Whatever. You guys don't matter. Just
I mean, you
kidding.
do.
You
but,
do matter because you're the listener, and the listener always matters.
Yeah. Whoops.
You're fine. All right, so like I said, it is September the 29th.
It's hot as balls.
It is hot as balls. We're in, not right now. It's hot outside. We're in a garage and we got 2 fans going in it. Yeah, I feel good.
Yeah,
I'm
so you
not,
might hear a little bit of background noise.
I'm not as sweaty as I normally am.
Me wearing pants, I'm lucky that my boys aren't sweating, but we're all good down here.
Yeah, my boys always sweat. But anyway, given the time of the year, the actual month and date, I finally seen It Chapter 2 last night.
Yeah, finally.
So if you haven't seen it, fair warning, we're probably gonna spoil some shit.
The next probably what you say 10 to 15 minutes.
Yes, probably the next 10 to 15 minutes. Turn it down, skip it, do whatever you got to do. Give me your thoughts, guys. Give me your thoughts.
I like it, and I know
I
a
loved
lot.
it.
I like it a lot.
I know a lot of people don't like it because you said you liked it more.
I did like it more, but the only thing that I didn't like about it was it relied on comedy too much. I found myself laughing in that movie more than I wanted to.
Yeah.
With it being, it's supposed to be a horror film.
Yeah.
I get it. Richie is a comedian.
Yeah.
Him and Ed have that. What I didn't know was a weird
it's
relationship.
not.
It's weird on Richie's part. Well, I wouldn't say it's really weird at all. Being gay isn't weird. But
It's him. He was hiding his
Yeah.
true feelings his whole life.
right, which I didn't understand that until you told me. But I just feel like it was too comedic for a horror film.
Hey Richie, I
And-
fucked your mom.
Yeah, before he dies.
Yeah,
right?
that's like one of the last things he says.
But like I said, I just found myself laughing more than I wanted to. In the first movie, which we all watched together, I think I jumped a couple times.
I mean,
I remember jumping at least once. Last night, I didn't jump at all.
I think I jumped with the little girl, even though I knew it was coming.
Oh, I didn't.
Oh yeah.
But-
I foot tapped a second.
Yeah.
No, not from the girl, from the kid, the boy.
Oh, the boy where
The-
he
the
just
gay guy?
no,
No,
the
they're in
little boy
the maze
where he
and the
explodes.
mirror.
Oh, yeah, that was fucked.
Yeah, that's what this movie is so brutal.
Like, it is. It is very gory. That's
it
what I
starts
loved
out
about it.
super brutal.
It does start out super
Dude,
brutal.
I feel
Um,
so bad for the gay character at the beginning
Yeah,
of
for
the movie.
those of you that have watched it, as you know, the gay couple in the beginning of the movie, one of the guys dies. That didn't have to happen, but like I said,
well, not even dies. He
didn't have
gets
to get
beat.
the shit
he
beat out
got
of
the
him.
shit beat out of him. It is.
I'm surprised
bad.
he didn't die from that.
Well,
If
he
didn't-
was.
Oh, I know he was, but not. If he wouldn't have got thrown in the water, he wouldn't have died.
No, yeah, but when you
obviously.
see him get thrown in the water, there's blood everywhere
I
in the
know.
water.
Well, yeah, that blood from there. I was thinking of when they cut back to Henry
Y-
coming out of the
yeah,
water.
but that was
yeah,
from the first
right,
from 27
yeah,
years
yeah,
ago.
yeah. But he didn't. The gay guy didn't have to die.
No.
Or I mean, he did have to die in the sense of letting us know Pennywise was back. He didn't have to get his ass beat by everybody.
Yeah.
But the only reason why that happened was to show that Derry is still in their ways where they don't like.
People that are different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they don't like
They
blacks. They don't like Hispanics. They don't like gay people.
They just don't.
Um,
they're not with
the-
a different culture.
Right.
They don't
But
accept.
I think the thing with this one was you have Mike, who is black, and he's the main character, or one of the main characters, of course, because he's
Oh.
in the Losers.
Yeah.
But he's been in the town for 27 years.
He's the
so-
only one that remembers.
Yeah, but he's black.
Yeah.
And he's been in that town for 27 years.
And the
so-
first thing he does at the end is leaves. So that-
exactly. But they can't kill a black person. Because if Mike's been there for 27 years, why the hell does this black guy have to die?
yeah.
So, in a way, they had to pick a gay person, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Because,
Oh, you mean just to show that they're still
Yes,
prejudiced?
yes.
They needed to pick
but
someone
they
that.
couldn't do it as a black person because if Mike's been here for 27
Why
years,
didn't they kill
why
him?
hasn't he died?
Yeah.
And I know it. Well, of course he's not going to die. He lived in the book.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, smart ass, I know.
I will
But-
say that Mike in the first movie was like underutilized to me. Like he wasn't. Which I guess it's just how they split the movie up. I
Yeah,
guess he
well-
always has more development as an adult.
Well, it was also a 90s movie.
Right. A
80s.
two-part miniseries.
No, it was in the 90s.
Oh,
it
you
come
the-
out in the
the
90s.
original
Yeah,
one.
the original.
Oh
one.
no, I'm talking about part 1 to this one. I don't think young Mike has as much.
Oh no, not at all. He's
No, yeah.
like, to be honest with you, I don't even remember anything about him in the first movie
Well,
other
except
than
then Beverly saving him from Henry and them when they're like about to beat him at the creek.
well, I was gonna say, I mean, he's the one that brought the damn gun that
That-
kills the sheep,
Yeah, and
his backstory. Of course, you
yeah,
remember
watching
that,
his parents
but
burn.
as far as anything else, he's not really in it. But when you think about the 1990s film, he's big in it as a kid because
Yeah.
he's the one,
To bring
if I'm not mistaken, that brings the photos.
Yes, he
in the
brings the
new
books.
one, it's Ben
Yeah.
who lets them know. So I think they just, wanted to give the fat kid all the glory for exposing some truth instead of
Well,
the black
I guess
guy.
they did that more to show that Beverly liked him even then for like because he was smart. Like he's the one that wrote the poem.
Yeah,
She
but
don't
thought
just
it was Bill.
yeah, but it's not. I guess what I'm saying is that way it doesn't seem like she only likes him as adults because he looks good now.
Right. Well,
At least then it's like he was contributing to the group from the very beginning. In this one they show that he's the one that made that secret base.
yeah. Well, at the same time, thinking about that, I like how they tied it all together at the end with Stan's letter.
Oh yeah.
Because in the first in the 90s, the TV movie, he's just a pussy.
Yeah.
You didn't get a suicide note or anything. He was just, nah, fuck this, I'm out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in this one, he's like,
Yeah, I did it so
did
y'all
it.
could win because I
Yeah.
knew I couldn't
Yeah,
do
if
it.
I was there,
I would run
sorry,
away, yeah.
We wouldn't have done this. We would have fucked up somehow, and it would have been my fault. So yes, it was cowardly, but he had a reason for it, and at the same time, it worked out because even though he was dead, he was still there. I mean, they all remembered him.
Well, more than that, to me, the scenes where they look in the mirrors and it sees the young versions of themselves, I kind of wonder if that's not like them actually seeing that from the magic of Pennywise being there or whatever.
At the end,
Yeah.
Pennywise is done.
But still, I would still think there would have to be something left over. Because then, why wouldn't you have all, like, I mean, I know you don't get to see, but, like, you would have had all these people all of a sudden just question, well, how come all these kids have been dead and all this and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
But there's, like, no one in the town at the end of the movie.
No. Well, yeah, there is. There's people walking around whenever
But-
Mike's leaving.
But not a lot. Well, no, I mean in that scene where it shows them walking through
Oh,
the town.
yeah, true, yeah. But here's my big gripe. Where's the fucking turtle?
I kind
I
of
was,
get
I was hoping
Like,
for that.
I
but
thought
didn't never-
because when they're in where Pennywise goes to rest, that's where I thought, oh shit, the turtle's gonna come because Bill gets stuck in water.
well,
So I'm over here thinking like, okay, if it's not a big giant turtle, it's gonna be like at least a little turtle.
yeah.
And I know there was the turtle that was on the school desk when Ben went through the school, and I was like, here we go, I'm gonna get some turtle action. But no, I ain't getting no TMNT, no
Okay,
nothing.
so I'm not necessarily mad that they didn't use the turtles or even like they did the ritual of chewed, but it was different. I thought because they've always said that Pennywise is weak to psychological powers, I thought they were going to say all the kids had to shine and try and connect this movie to like the other Stephen King movies and the fact that all the kids got psychological powers because of their terrific childhoods because that's
Yeah.
how you get the shine, and that's how they're going to beat him. But they just basically stopped being scared, and
Yeah, they realized, what it was. How did they figure it out? What was it? I forgot, even though I just saw it less than 12 hours ago.
I think it was more that Bill realized that he couldn't kill Beverly when they were young because Beverly stopped being scared, so he made her look at the deadites,
Deadlights.
whatever.
But is that what it was? I don't remember exactly what it was. I just know they all grew balls and started just to talk some shit. And he was basically reduced down to a puddle of himself.
Well, okay,
Yeah.
no, I think I remember what it is now because the Deadlights are him, but they take a physical form to create fear.
Yeah.
And Pennywise was its favorite form, and they just realized that they can weaken Pennywise. And whenever there's no physical form for the Deadites, they basically are dead, or Deadlights. They just are gone.
Does anybody know the point of the turtle?
Well,
I could have sworn the book.
Yeah,
They
it creates
fought,
the
but-
universe.
Yeah. they did.
That's what I was about to say. It's like isn't it what? Aren't there like? Don't the Indians believe that like
I'm not sure.
the world is the turtle's back or something like that?
They're
But that's based off of really old, like.
Well, I know that, but
folklore.
I'm saying, isn't that what the turtle's based off of?
Yes,
Is
that's
the
exactly
natives
what the-
believing that it's because wasn't
Yeah.
Derry built on like an Indian ground? Like all the fucking Stephen King
Yeah.
things
Well-
are an Indian burial ground.
Well, they even talk about that because they.
Cemetery.
Well,
Yeah.
Mike
Well,
finds
The Shining.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he finds the ritual thing from
those Native Americans.
whatever they were, the Choctaws or something like shit.
But-
I should stop because Native Americans you don't fuck with.
We love you. I got a little bit of you in me.
Same,
Not
but
much.
Right.
I mean, I think it's good doing it that way. Like, it was something that the Indians had done, and yeah, they failed. And Mike finds out that way, but he thinks because
They didn't believe they could beat him,
yeah,
which is what he said at the end because he says, "Hey, why don't you tell them why I'm still here?" And they're
Well-
like, "Dude, you fucking lied again."
well, almost. I still think that technically they could have won with the Ritual of Chewed if one of them would have just grown balls and popped that balloon faster.
Right. See, that's what I thought that. Who had the knife? Eddie? Did Eddie get the knife?
I can't
Somebody had a
remember.
knife.
Yeah, it
Or
was
somebody-
Eddie.
yeah,
It
yeah,
was
he got-
Eddie.
No, not.
No. He
not
picked up
that
the knife
knife.
from the kitchen whenever he didn't save.
Yeah, whenever he didn't save Richie.
Or was it Richie? Or yeah.
Yeah, it was Richie.
Yeah. I couldn't remember if it
Because
was.
it was
Yeah,
Stan's head on top of him because it was him.
yeah, because Ben ran in
Yeah.
there and stabbed it.
Yeah, but see, I figured that's what was going to happen. That somebody would have popped it, and like I'm over here waiting for it, and it never happened, and then it finally popped on its own, and fucked them up.
Yeah, and it kind of proves that like the reason they could beat him in the end was because they realized, oh, it is up to them. Like they have to believe in themselves because they watch Eddie throw the damn win or the thing that
Oh yeah, he
wins.
threw that the fire stick or whatever.
yeah,
it was,
and-
the poker.
He goes, I believe this is a alien killer or whatever, and it does a shit ton of damage.
Yeah, well, it's a clown killer or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah, it fucks him up pretty good. I mean, I don't know. I think if you compare the two,
I like that
This-
they did it different.
well, I meant like these last two movies and the first two.
Yeah,
Of course, people are going to point the finger and go, "Well,
the first
hell,
ones are closer
it's
to the
20
books.
something years
Yeah,
apart." But yeah, you're right. They are closer to the books.
but saying that, I like the new Pet Cemetery movie
I haven't seen it.
way more than the old one,
I want-
and it's
I don't think it's way better. I like it a lot. I like both of them. That's the thing. I can't.
no,
I
I
think
like both of them. I just think that the new one is. I can't take the little boy serious as a killer in the old movies.
I don't know. I haven't seen them, to be honest. I don't really like Stephen King's books, the movies for them. I mean, I guess I'm that person that
Pe-
doesn't like Bill Denborough's books or movies because the endings suck. It's
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
the same with Stephen King.
Well,
I mean,
yeah. Speaking of that, that's straight up.
yeah,
basically.
that's
him.
why everybody in almost every main character in his books are writers or some form of something like that because
Yeah, 'cause
he's
he
putting
does-
himself in there.
Yeah, he doesn't think he's like
But-
a great writer.
And that's fine. I mean, he obviously is.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, let's be honest. If
And-
if you've read the book, it's an okay book. I mean, I've read. My God, it's damn over 1,000 pages. It's a hard book to read to
Oh,
stay
it-
focused on. Yeah,
it's
but
a 40-hour audiobook.
Oh, I know. Well, I know. Trust me, I've listened to the whole thing.
Yeah.
But it's an abridged version, so it's got a lot cut out of it. And they don't have an unabridged audio version for
Yeah.
it because hell, you'd be there for.
And he has,
God, who
like
knows?
Stephen King has said that out of all of his stories that he's wrote, what he's wrote for it, he's probably the most disappointed in himself in, because he said if he had wrote that story now, he would have never wrote the orgy scene with the kids.
Yeah, where they lose their virginity when they're like 13.
Yeah, but they're basically like raping Beverly.
Well, they're not really. No, they're not. I mean, if you read the book, they all love each other, and so
yeah, but
I wouldn't necessarily say they're raping her because she's obviously up for it because they're all convinced that they have to be
gang rape.
But I wouldn't even really.
Gang
But
rape.
don't use the word rape because it's not rape. They're all
If they're
convinced.
consensual,
They're all convinced that they have to do that to become adults to beat him. That's why they do it.
But
That's why they did it in the first place. But
well,
there's
I'm quoting
gang,
what he has
gang
said.
bang. Call
Yeah.
it that, not a rape.
Yeah, gang bang.
And
But she was up for it.
yeah, it was a nice feisty little orgy between little teenage kids. But don't throw the R word
Well,
in there.
I'm just saying that's how he has said it. So whenever he's talked about it,
because people have come at him saying, "Oh, well, you've let your characters rape this girl and all this and that." When people start to generalize a subject,
Yeah.
you'll start to believe it too. Even if you don't really believe it, you'll use their words.
I saw an interview with him not too long ago, and he's definitely got caught up with what everyone's saying nowadays.
Yeah,
Because he's
I
just
mean-
come out with a new book about stuff that's going on today, so it's
Really?
got to him.
Huh? Well,
and I know you like The Shining, don't you?
yeah, it's a good movie. I like to read the book.
Well, the
But-
book and the movie are completely different.
Well, I know because Stanley
And-
Kubrick is a mind of his own.
Arguably one of the greatest directors, arguably the greatest director
Yeah,
of all time.
but I mean,
But
sometimes
King
it's-
hates that movie.
Oh, I know because it's nothing like the book.
Yeah, and he thinks Kubrick's a hack.
Well, I mean, that's his own opinion. I haven't read the book. I've only seen the movie, so I know what
And-
happens in the movie. I like to read the book and
I
draw my own
haven't
conclusions.
watched the movie.
Really?
I bought it the other day. I'm gonna watch it because I want to watch Doctor Sleep.
Yeah, it's what?
They're the sequel.
Oh yeah, they're making a sequel.
When are they doing that?
It comes out next month.
Yeah, it's
Ian McGregor is playing a grown-up Danny Torrance. Yeah. And it's these people that are like vampires or they are just cannibals. They eat people with the
Holy shit!
But he
with
goes back.
Sean
He goes back to the
hotel.
Yeah.
Oh, for real? Is there a trailer already?
Yeah.
Yep. There's two.
I'll have to check that out later on. Hell yeah.
But yeah, these people are like people with the shine and get their powers.
Huh.
And so they start hunting this girl that has like the strongest shine they've ever seen, and he's protecting her.
Well,
Yeah.
what was that one movie that they come out with a couple years ago? Didn't it have Matthew McConaughey in it? And it was a Stephen King thing.
The Dark Tower.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that was
But isn't Pennywise supposed to be like connected to that, in somehow?
in. So the Dark Tower in the books actually connects every single one of his books together. It makes all of them in one shared universe. You see the Ip monsters, like you actually see the creepy, like clown, or not clown, but crab spider things.
Yeah.
You see the turtles. You see all this different, like you see the effects of the Pet Cemetery. You see all this in Dark Tower.
In the movie or just the book?
The books,
Oh,
because
okay.
there's 7
Yeah.
books.
God, yeah, I was about to say, I know it's not going to be in the movie. There's no way they can fit all that. Well, they could, but it'd be a sloppy movie.
Yeah, they were setting it up, and they were gonna do a TV show with both of those actors in it, with McConaughey and Elba. But after the movie bombed, because it wasn't good.
Duh.
But
What horror movie nowadays is
Well,
good?
it's not
Or
the-
a thriller.
it's not really
well,
horror,
but is it
yeah.
a thriller?
it's like a thriller action maybe.
Well, I mean, when you combine those two, of course it's going to bomb because most thriller and horror movies don't live up to the name, to the
Us.
genre. Us was freaky. I'm not going to lie, but
I think it's by far scarier than Get Out. And it's definitely more of a horror movie
when you
than
think
Get Out.
about it, yes, because everybody swears up and down they have a doppelganger. or they've seen someone that looks like them.
Yeah.
Now I've seen someone that looks like me. He was in a damn mugshot with his face beat up, but he looked just like me. Scary as hell.
That girl we saw that looks like Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, exactly. Colin Hunter.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, that would be something that I could see that could potentially actually happen, maybe in an alternate universe.
Well,
Of course, not
yeah,
the one that we
and
live in
not
now.
only that, but like he takes stuff that is known about, say, the United States, where it talks about all the tunnels and stuff. That is
Yeah,
that
that's
is something
legit.
that is 100%
Yeah,
real.
it's
There's
legit in the
millions of
West
miles.
Coast.
It's legit.
They stretch here too. Let's go dig, boys.
Like it's like something legit. Like there's millions of miles of tunnels under the United States, and a lot of them are unexplained. Like they're just natural, like rock caves, but there's so much of it, it doesn't make sense.
See, when I think of like rock caves, I think of that one movie, The Descent, where
I'm not
they're
saying- I've heard of it.
where they splunk for like fun, I guess, and they end up finding these mutant creatures in the
Yeah.
caves. And
Well, I always wanted to watch As Above, So Below because of
no,
that.
you don't. No, you don't.
I've heard it's
movie-
very
That
fucked.
movie sucks. That movie sucks.
I mean, I've heard it suck, but I've heard it's also very fucked up.
well, because the ruins in France are
The
legit.
catacombs, yeah, yeah.
They're legit. There have been people that have walked in there with their camcorder and legit start to get lost. And there's one video, you can look it up. You've probably seen it on YouTube. This guy goes in there. I think he went alone. I'm not too sure. And he ends up getting lost. And like every time he turns around, he just sees the same thing. And his camera just hits the ground in a puddle of water. And he hasn't been seen, but they've obviously
They
got
found
the camera.
Yeah, yeah.
So that shit's real. But the movie, I've watched it twice, and I don't like it. I mean, it's scary in the sense of it's real. It's obviously happened. It's also folklore and all this and that. It's been around for centuries, but it just didn't strike me as a horror film. I think it's still on Netflix. It may be, it may not.
Oh, I don't want to watch it, but because I've heard there's scenes in there that are very fucked up as far as like the devil and stuff goes.
I don't recall seeing the devil in it.
Because someone told me you literally see like the gates of hell at the end of the catacombs or something. I don't know. That's what someone told me.
I'm not 100% sure, because I'll tell you right now. I mean, when I say something about a movie that I'm not 100% sure about, I wasn't probably paying attention, and that movie does blow in my opinion. Maybe if I can get into it, I could be able to tell you. But I don't remember seeing a devil. The movie I do remember seeing the damn devil in was Annabelle, and it scared the shit out of me. I fell off my bed, and I had to take a 15-minute break because I was so scared. I don't do the devil. No.
Well, the demon in Annabelle creation scared the shit out of me, and it's not even the devil; it's just a straight up demon.
Annabelle creation was scarier than Annabelle. I will admit that. It's just
all
freaky.
The, all
but-
the tearing limbs.
well,
all
not
the
only
people
that,
there.
the damn orphanage that they're in, that those girls
Yeah.
are in. It's just
Well, just the story of how Annabelle came. It was like the parents like were so upset that they lost their daughter that they prayed to not only God, but anybody that would listen just to bring their daughter back.
right.
And that
Yeah,
damn
unfortunately.
demon took over that little
Yeah.
doll.
I mean, unfortunately, that's how things happen. I guess.
But we kind of got off topic. Do you want to give a score to that?
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna give it an 8 out of 10. It
Yeah.
wasn't perfect. I would give it lower. I think the lowest I could possibly go is a 6, but I just liked the action and the blood in it, so
Yeah.
I can give it a solid 8, without a doubt.
That's about what mine is, but I also have It Chapter 1 higher than It Chapter 2. I'd say it's like an 8.5 to a 9.
Yeah, I'd probably give it an 8.5 for chapter 1, even though I did say, in my opinion, 2 is better. But 1, it's just, I don't know.
One's a better movie.
I can
Like,
handle the comedy in 1 better than I can in 2 because and I watch Stranger Things, so what's his face? Richie is funnier. His character's funny. The guy that plays him is funny,
Finn
so
Wolfhard.
I can laugh at that. But when you're an adult and it's Bill Hader, who's not the Bill Hader we all remember. He's obviously strayed far away from Superbad, and I haven't seen him in anything in a long time. He was in that movie with LeBron, but I didn't watch it.
Trainwreck.
Yeah, I didn't watch it.
He's at the peak of his career right now. He has a show on HBO, and
Well, I don't have HBO.
I don't either right now. But everyone that's talked about it, it's called Barry, and everyone that's talked about it says it's amazing. He's an assassin that wants to be. He's literally like a government assassin that wants to be a stand-up comedian.
Oh dear God.
So he's like a straight man trying to be a comedian, like a guy that's like Red Foreman being a comedian,
Yeah.
basically.
Well,
And apparently, it's the best thing he's ever done in his career, and he's the one that thought of it.
I guess I'll have to look into that. But
And you know what I'm actually really excited for? Because they said that they are for the movie or for the DVD release or home release, they're going back and refilming some stuff to make a 5-hour plus long cut of the movie with both movies together with new footage to make it flow better.
sheesh, that'll be a date night for sure. Right. 5 hours. Jeez, what's the last 5-hour movie I ever watched?
I would watch Infinity War and Endgame back to back. To make
Oh, I
that-
would too, just because. Hey, look at that. Larry Fitzgerald is now second place for all-time catches with 1,326.
Heck yeah.
Past Tony Gonzalez. So yeah, see, we talk sports, obviously.
Well, the first 20 minutes are all sports.
Yeah, and then the next 30 has been It, Chapter 2.
I mean,
But that's what we're gonna do here. That's really it. Movies, games, video games,
Yeah.
sports games.
Actually, I got a good proposition for the next movie review.
Oh yeah,
The Joker.
the Joker.
Comes out.
Yes,
well, okay,
the
hold on,
Joker will
hold on.
be out.
Let's talk about that because we still have some
Well,
time.
we still got some time. Yeah,
The controversy for this movie is so fucking ridiculous.
it is, but you have to look at it this way. You
I
have to,
understand Aurora, Colorado not playing the movie.
but you also have to take into account the state of the nation right now.
Yeah.
I mean, look at it this way: if there was a mass shooting here, that movie wouldn't get played here.
The thing
It's just sorry. It's just the way that things are going right now. It's darker.
Oh yeah.
We can all three admit it's
It's gonna be.
darker than any Batman film that we're ever gonna see.
It definitely will.
This
be.
Yeah.
Joker's darker than Heath Ledger's Joker,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It will
The-
be.
especially because it's a whole movie.
But
Yeah. And the
this is what something I
producer
want to say.
was
Like,
with-
people are going to try and say, well, it's going to convince people to go and commit these murder.
no,
If anything,
No.
I think it might get normal people to realize that, hey, you need to go talk to people like this. Like, you
Well,
need to not treat these people
peop-
like second-class citizens. And I'm not saying you give sympathy to people that go out there and murder
oh no,
people.
tough love, motherfucker.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, like, to people that you see that are like this, like they seem cut off from people and they seem like they're going through a hard time. Maybe it will make people go and talk to those people and try to, like, get them to open up
Yeah.
and not treat them like shit.
And
Right.
but one thing people need to realize about, oh man, it might go and cause a mass shooting. If someone goes and shoots some people after watching this movie, they were messed up to begin with.
And that's exactly
Yeah,
what
it
Joaquin
wasn't
Phoenix is
the
saying.
movie's fault. But also at the same time, while you were speaking, Derek, all I could think of what you were saying about going and talking to these people. This whole movie's premise is how quick someone's life can turn in a bad day, and that's what The Killing Joke was about.
Yeah.
Me and Celie, that's my fiance. For those that y'all don't know, we watched that movie the other night, and that's what his whole thing. That's what the whole thing was with him trying to screw with Commissioner Gordon's head
Or Batman. Well,
and Batman, all three of them,
Yeah,
because that's how it happened. His Joker's wife died. He goes and puts on the Red Hood. He falls in the chemical. He turns psycho like instantly.
yeah.
Because he even made a joke about being a clown or something like that. Well, Batman, his parents got killed, so Bruce Wayne turned into who he is.
And honestly, Batman is kind of a psycho because,
Oh, he's definitely got issues.
yeah, like, because if you think about it, no logical person is going to make that a commitment. Like, that's not what your parents would want if they're murdered. They would want you to go out there and, like, live a life and try. And he is a rich person. He could go and make things better for the town, but instead he decides to put on a mask and beat the shit out of criminals.
Yeah, and then
Which it does, it helps, but he, I mean, at the same time, he does have like charities and stuff that he
Yeah.
does.
But he could focus more on that. And that's something they don't really talk about much in the comic, The Killing Joke. When it first came out, the ending of the comic, Batman beats the Joker to death.
yeah.
But then when they decided to make it canon, they're like, "Oh no,
Yeah.
that he just beat him into a coma."
Well, it's not even that. The one that I have, the ending of it, they're
It-
just laughing.
And
Batman
then
keeps laughing, but Joker
Joker's
doesn't.
doesn't.
So it's like, well, did he kill him?
Well, yeah, it's basically implied
yeah.
that he killed him.
Well, of course.
And then in canon, they made it, "Oh no, he beat him unconscious."
yeah. So, what are we even talking
About like the controversy
But-
of the movie.
But yeah, see, these things happening, it's nobody's fault but the guy that done it or the woman that done it. Because in San Bernardino a few years ago, it was a man and a woman that shot up a mall or a Walmart or something like that. It's it's not the gun's fault. Don't blame video games. Don't blame your president.
Yeah, but
Trust me, we live in a town where 15 minutes up the road from where we're at, there are KKK members. Let's be honest, they burn crosses sometimes. You don't see them killing in the name of Trump.
and you know the thing is, where we live, there has been, especially since we've grown up, there's been a lot of murders here. They're
Yeah.
extremely personal and extremely violent.
Extremely. Like that one where the dude
Cut his wife's.
cut his wife's breast implants out because he got them
Yeah.
for her. This dude was psycho.
Um,
And that happened on the farm.
yeah, that happened on
that
some of
happened
our
on
best
one of-
friends' family's land.
And aren't they living there right now? Drew and Ashley?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, we got it here too, but you don't see.
But it's not like impersonal, like just people getting mowed down. I get
Yeah,
that's completely
we haven't
different.
had anything like that here, and God forbid we ever do. But
But we understand like extremely heinous, violent acts. Like
right,
that.
and that's what this movie is hopefully going to shed some light on. That, hey, think about these people and think about how mentally ill they are.
And I'm not even convinced that the Joker is gonna do any of those violent
Yeah, the
acts.
way that it's looking,
I think
it's
he's gonna
be,
convince other people to do it.
Yeah, but that's also sick and twisted. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what-
no, it's
that's what-
definitely-
that's what Manson did.
Yeah, it's
Man,
Manson,
that dude
yeah.
got life.
Yeah.
He didn't kill anybody.
But he convinced people.
Yeah, he was the cult leader.
Conspirating
Yeah.
Yeah.
for murder.
But I think, and I don't remember where I heard this from. I know I saw it on a YouTube video. There's a theory that
It's not real.
that
Oh.
he's not even the Joker.
It's in his
That-
mind. He's
no,
just, oh, okay.
that De Niro's the Joker. That there's going to be like some twist in the movie, but it's De Niro that's really the Joker
I could see that.
well,
because they've been trying to
De
get him to
Niro-
play it ever since '89, Batman '89. But
De
he turned it
Niro
down.
looks like, and this movie is heavily influenced by Man of the Moon or something.
No,
One of his movies.
A taxi driver, and
the comedy,
the
King
comedy-
of King of Comedy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one of his movies.
De Niro's character in this movie looks and acts like the character he was in
yeah,
that movie.
in the King Economy.
Yeah, and this is a Scorsese produced movie that was a Scorsese movie.
right.
So it wouldn't shock me, but I've also seen a theory on YouTube that says that what is Arthur Fleck, what Joaquin Phoenix character, he's a schizo, and this is all happening in his
Yeah.
head, and he's like disconnected.
It's possible.
Yeah.
And it is,
He does have some form of illness.
and you see his mother dying, and
Yeah.
usually mental illness is passed through inheritance. So it makes sense if
Yeah.
she has something and he gets
Well,
something.
she clearly does.
Yeah.
Because she's in Arkham.
Oh yeah.
She ends up, at least that's the way the trailer will make you think, that she ends up going to Arkham because he's in and out of there.
Well, I'm not convinced that this movie is not a prequel to the Dark Knight trilogy. You see him interact with a young Bruce.
Right, but
What if he's the influence for the Joker in the Dark Knight movie?
well, that's the thing though. If
'Cause
they were
this-
gonna try to connect it to that, they wouldn't have acted like they've never dealt with a person like the Joker before.
Yeah,
because he's
and-
obviously been there and he's wreaking havoc through Gotham.
Well,
Why
but
would-
like I said before, what if he's not the one committing the acts?
But still, Joker wasn't committing the acts either. He was putting everything in the citizens' hands, and it all backfired on him. See, his thing was
But
his
he
thing
did
was
commit
chaos.
some of that.
Yes, he did, but his thing was chaos, and his was, hey, I can make all your bright nights dark,
Yeah.
and nobody turned dark outside of
Harvey.
Harvey Dent,
Yeah.
but he died, so that's irrelevant. That movie, I wish Heath Ledger wouldn't have died, because Christopher Nolan definitely wouldn't have had a trilogy. He would have had maybe 5 or 6 movies out of that.
They think they were gonna have 4 movies, and really, they weren't gonna kill Two-Face until it came out that how good he was as the Joker, because originally it was gonna be Two-Face and Bane in Dark Knight Rises, but he changed that because they killed Two-Face on screen. But then, because they were going to be like, oh, Joker and Bane, and that obviously he didn't
Yeah.
live.
Which sucks,
Yeah.
because hands down, don't care who you are, best Joker ever.
Yeah.
I think that Joaquin can take that role,
Yeah.
because
Because there's already pre-hype that this movie's gonna be at the Oscars.
he's a good actor. He's a good method actor,
Yeah.
and that's what he's doing here is method acting. But it depends, because if we're right and it turns out he's not the Joker, is he still the best Joker? You can't give him that crown
Well,
if he's not
the thing
necessarily
is,
the Joker
this
at the end
movie-
of the movie.
Honestly, yeah, it's a Joker movie, but it is not the Joker.
Oh yeah, we know that.
It's a completely different
they've
origin.
come out and
It's-
said that it's not anywhere connected to what we've got out right now.
yeah, it's not based on any of the comics or any of that. It might have influences from some of the comics, but
Oh, for sure.
Well, the thing is, actually, you were talking about that you had heard that that De Niro could be the
Yeah,
Joker.
yeah.
I just heard that the director, they were interviewing him the other day, and they interviewed Todd Phillips and asked if there was going to be a sequel, and he said that he would be down for it if Joaquin maybe wanted to.
Well,
then
that's-
I've also heard there's not really a way to do a sequel to this movie.
well, the thing is, I don't think there will be,
I
because
doubt it too.
well, he auditioned for Red Skull, and he auditioned for what's his face? Jesse Eisenberg's character, Lex Luthor.
That would have been better.
They approached him for that,
Joaquin?
yeah. But he ultimately stepped away from it because he didn't want to have to be in all these sequels. He didn't
Yeah,
want to be
that's
tied
right.
down.
He doesn't want to be tied to a cinematic
Yeah.
universe.
So I don't necessarily think there will be a sequel.
I
Like
think
you
there
said, I
could
don't
be
think.
a sequel,
there-
but not.
I think what they'll do is they'll probably leave it. They'll end it with, "Hey, there could be a sequel," but I don't think it'll have him in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It'll be like we'll get De Niro was behind it all or something like that. That's what we'll get. Because it's not going to have Batman in it, even though Bruce Wayne's in it. It's not a Batman movie.
No, Bruce is a kid.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm
Or
saying.
A teen.
And
And
it's-
No, he's not even a teen.
He's not even a teen. He was a
He's
little
5
kid.
or 8.
Yeah,
I think.
I don't think his parents are even dead yet.
No, they're not.
No, they're
So-
He's
not.
got Thomas Wayne.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
got Thomas Wayne.
So
Yeah. Well,
So-
I'm saying maybe it's a new take, and maybe they make Batman a little older, or
Well,
Bruce
that's-
a little older.
Well, that's what they're doing with this Robert Pattinson movie,
Mm.
which Jonah Hill has signed on.
Have they said for what? 'Cause
Nope.
if he's for the Riddler, I'm
They haven't
very
said for what
disappointed.
yet. I haven't said for what. But I
How
mean,
many different villains are gonna be in that movie?
At least
Oh,
3 to 4. I
they're-
think.
I-
It's
I know-
it's
I know
rumored
the
that he's going to be
Penguin.
Penguin.
No, he said, isn't that one dude already signed on for it?
No.
Who?
Josh Gad.
Yeah,
Who's
Josh
that?
Gad, Olaf from Frozen.
No.
He's-
I mean, I know who Olaf is. I don't know who played him.
He's been in other stuff, but he definitely looks
I don't think he
has the looks for the Penguin. I think.
Well, the only thing that
It's not who I would pick though.
the only thing that I ask for this movie, this Batman movie that's coming up in the future, please, for the love of all things Batman, no origin. We know where Batman came from. You don't have to show us in every movie that his parents died.
Yeah, I don't want that.
It gets
I
old.
would not be against going back to the first few years, which is what
No.
I think this movie's going to be.
No, he's gonna be.
No, this is
some,
based off of the Long Knot
Is it?
or the Long Halloween.
Oh, the year one?
That's the second year of his of him as Batman.
Well, wasn't that what Batman Origins was, the video game? Even though
Arkham Origins.
Arkham Origins, but it was in Christmas.
It was like
He was young.
Yeah, it was the first year of his Batman, and Batman Begins is the first year. But Batman Begins is Bale's best movie, and that it's definitely Bale's best movie in that trilogy. Because after that, he gets showed up by the villains. But
I don't know. I mean, I'll give you the credit there. It's his best portrayal as
Batman.
Bruce Wayne.
and Batman, I think.
I would just say Bruce Wayne because he's shown more as Wayne there. He's shown as the billionaire playboy.
Well, and I think that's something you're going to get with Pattinson a lot more. Pattinson has he has the range, and Bale has the range, but Pattinson's been doing all these like very
he's been on-
art house.
Yeah, he's been on plays and stuff like that. He's been doing like Broadway
ever
plays
since
and
Twilight.
things,
He's
so-
been doing very art house films, and now he's coming back to do a big blockbuster. I think he's going to be in this for a while, and you're going to see billionaire Bruce Wayne, like charming ladies, like almost James Bond like,
Well, if they
and
do
then
it,
you're going to see a Batman.
if they do it with him younger, just please God, no origin story.
I
I don't care if they talk about it,
Yeah.
but I don't want cutscenes
Well,
of him
I don't-
falling down a cave,
Yeah.
or his mom's pearls getting pulled off, and his daddy stepping in and getting hit by the bull. No, I don't want to see parents' death. I don't want to see murder. No, I'm done with that.
I got a
It's-
feeling
I-
at one point you'll at least
I think
see
you'll
one of
see
their
the-
tombstones.
Probably.
That, and I think you might see the Bat. I think you will have a scene in this movie from the comics where he almost gives up being Batman, and he's like telling his dad, he's like, just give me a sign, like this isn't working.
Well, that's fine.
And then the Bat slams
That-
into the window.
That's fine. That's fine. But the origin story, we
Yeah,
don't.
I
need.
don't need to see his parents
Because
get killed.
go back and look at all the Joel Schumacher movies,
Every single one.
the Tim Burton movies. They all had some big, huge flashback scene. Hell, was there one in Dark Knight? Or The Dark Knight Rises? Was there one in those?
I don't know, but Batman Begins has so much of it.
Well, yeah. I mean, of course, it's
I don't
the
know.
first one.
I don't
but
think the Dark Knight.
well, no, the Dark Knight Rises just had the bats when he's getting out of the cave. They all freaking rise.
Well,
with him.
it show. I think Dark Knight Rises is the one where it shows him finding the cave, where he falls through, where he's telling.
Well, that's where what's
Robin.
his face, Robin, yeah, quote unquote. He finds the cave.
Yeah, but I thought it showed the scene where he falls through, where Bruce falls through as a kid.
I'm not 100% sure if that's what it is or not.
And another thing, like, whoever becomes Alfred, please go more Jeremy Irons route again and not Master Wayne. What are you breaking my heart, Master Wayne? I hate the Dark Knight version of Alfred.
Really?
He's such a crybaby, and he's so against him being Batman, and he's never like that in the comics. He's not like that in anything else but the Dark Knight
But
trilogy.
dude, Michael Caine is.
Michael Caine's great in that role, but I hate that kind of Alfred.
Which Alfred are you leaning more towards?
Like how he is in Batman v Superman and Justice
Oh,
League.
shut the fuck up.
That's
No.
how he
I-
is.
but I don't want anything Batfleck. I would rather have the Alfred from Burton and Schumacher.
Well, even that one's better than
Well, I know,
crying.
But
Bitch.
but Michael Caine just brings some. I don't know. It's Michael Caine, man.
Yeah, no, I'm.
That's Austin Powers' dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not like. I just don't like that version. Like crying Alfred. Like, yeah, you can do that, but you need to do it. But have him also support Batman.
Well, I think the reason why he done it is because he was in return feeling like he let the Waynes down.
yeah, I mean,
So you got to look at it as he is honestly his father figure.
Yeah.
That's why he's doing it.
well, it's like that in the comics too. But he also supports Bruce in everything he does. I would rather see a supportive father figure than someone's. Well, you killed yourself, Master Wayne.
Well, because that's what he thought was
Man.
going to happen. He thought that he was going to die in
And it was basically
Dark Knight and
happened.
Dark Knight Rises.
It was
Yeah,
happening. It was
and I
breaking
don't
his body.
disagree with that. But like, Alfred knows that, but Alfred also knows that you kind of need someone like that in Gotham.
Well, I think that in those worlds, yeah, but I think this one, because this one that was its own universe.
What, the
Nolan's
Pattinson
was
one?
no
Oh.
Nolan. Nolan was its own universe. So
And that's what I'm saying. I'm fine with it in those movies. Do
Oh, yeah, I
not
get
bring
you.
that into these new movies.
well, what if they did cast Michael Caine?
If he's not playing whiny bitch one, I'm fine with it.
I don't think it'll be him. I'm not sure though. It was,
Honestly, the
Is
guy
this-
they cast as Gordon,
that was pretty
uh,
good actually. It was.
I can't. He's in the second Hunger Games, and he's
Have you
in.
seen shoot, what is that show called? Westworld.
No, he's not. He doesn't have HBO. I
He's
can't
in the
think of
Hunger
the.
Games too.
Yeah, he's in the second
Second.
Hunger Games.
I haven't seen those either.
He's a really good actor, and they cast him as Gordon. He's
Gordon in what?
the Pattinson Batman.
Oh,
movie.
they did cast him for
Yeah.
Gordon. You would rather him be
Alfred?
Alfred?
Yeah, I think he would be a really good Alfred.
I don't want him to be Alfred.
Why? Because he's like a light skinned black guy.
But
He-
that's not the
Oh.
thing. That's
Well, that-
not.
well, that doesn't
why,
matter.
But he's just.
I think
He
he
don't
would
seem
be.
like Alfred to me.
I think he's very. I don't know. I feel like he would be a really good Alfred, especially like the one that's supportive.
Well, how do you feel about Pattinson getting the role?
I think it's a great choice.
I thought it was. I was like, very.
I don't know how I feel about it yet. I'll need to see like a trailer or a teaser.
I'll let it be. But at first I was like, what?
I
what's
would
going on here?
have rather had Jake Gyllenhaal because he was up for
Yeah.
it.
At first I was against that, and then I started watching a lot of Gyllenhaal's movies.
he's a
and
good
then I
actor.
said,
He could do it.
yeah.
After Spider-Man: Far From Home,
I haven't seen it.
I don't want to see him as anything else but Mysterio.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
that good?
Yeah.
He was great.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I don't want to see him as anything else but Mysterio. And I was for him being Batman forever. And honestly, you know who the person I think would be a great Batman? Fucking John Hamm.
Yeah.
Who is he again? That name sounds familiar.
I'm trying to
Like
think.
Mad Men.
Yeah, Madman.
Oh, that
Dark
guy.
hair,
yes.
Yeah.
He looks.
He would be.
He would be pretty
great.
good.
Yeah,
Now,
him or Army Hammer. I would have always said.
I think John Hamm's a little bit.
yeah, I'd rather have him than Army Hammer. I mean, he's just got the name, man.
Jeffrey Wright. That's the new guy.
What's it look like?
Hold on, I'm pulling up a picture. I had to look up his name.
I think he's a good pick, actually.
Yeah, I think he's a great pick.
And he's playing Commissioner Gordon?
Yeah,
He looks familiar.
He's a very good actor.
yeah.
I mean, that's fine. I mean, no, I couldn't see him as Alfred.
I think it would be a cool Alfred. That's what I was saying. That. I forgot what we were saying.
Doesn't matter. we're gonna close here soon, so let's do some predictions. Who's winning the World Series? Actually, whoa. Who do y'all hope
Braves.
is in the World Series?
Yeah, I hope Atlanta.
National and American. Braves national for both of y'all. Who you got in the American?
I don't even know who's in the playoffs for the AL right now.
Yeah, I really don't.
Whatever the weakest team is.
Well, I hope, of
Is
course.
Astros in that?
Oh, you know what?
Astros have the best record in the
They're in the
MLB.
AL.
Hold on.
They're in the AL.
Yeah, they'll probably.
I hope
win.
they win, or I hope. Well, of course, I hope they win, but I hope it's them in Atlanta because I will go to a freaking World Series game. Don't care
Hold
if
on.
I'm decked out in Houston stuff because I know how rough Atlanta crowds get when you are an
Yeah.
away fan. I've
I'll say
almost
this.
gotten into a fight for being a Celtics
I hope.
fan.
I hope it's. I hope it's Atlanta
That was a good.
and the
call.
Yankees because
Shut
no,
up.
you know why?
You
Because
just
if
want to
the-
see the Yankees lose.
Yes,
I do
if,
too.
If the Yankees lose to if the best team
They-
in baseball history loses to my Atlanta Braves,
They're not the best team in baseball history.
Yeah, bull.
Oh, you mean like in
As
all
a-
of
as a
baseball,
franchise,
okay.
yes,
I thought you
yes.
were meaning this team
No,
is the
no,
best.
no,
okay,
no.
yes, you're right. The Yankees own baseball.
yes,
Yankees
I
own.
would love to see them
The
lose.
Yankees run baseball.
I would love to see them to lose to one of the youngest teams in baseball history in the Braves.
I don't think they could though, or they would. I really don't.
The
I would love
Braves,
to see it. Don't
you
get
do
me
know
wrong.
the Braves
I-
have like dominated the
Oh
AL
no,
this season.
but it's the Yankees, man. The Yankees always find a.
I
Fucking, they're
know.
like the Patriots. The Yankees are the
They're a
Patriots
worse version
of,
of the Patriots.
of baseball. Like it's terrible. Okay, so we all agreed the Braves. I'm down for the Astros being in it just because that's my team. That's who I would want to see.
Okay, but
I'm
say
hoping.
they don't.
If they don't,
Would you definitely be rooting for the Braves?
oh yeah,
Okay.
oh yeah. If it's any team but the Astros and the Braves are in it, all day. I mean, I was a Braves fan, not like a full hard-on Braves fan, but I used to go to Braves games all the time, so I love the Braves. I mean, hell, hometown. I'm a hometown kid. Nothing wrong with that. But yeah, any team outside of the Astros, Braves all day. I rooted for the damn Falcons when they lost to the Patriots, and that's probably why they fucking lost. It's because I was rooting for them.
No, it's
and because
we're
they
all
suck.
rooting for them.
Right? It's like, oh hey, Georgia's in the big game again.
Well, that and the Simpsons predicted it. So anything they
Did they
predict,
really?
yeah.
Of course they did.
There's a fucking episodes of The Simpsons. It shows Bill Belichick with the hoodie over his face, and it shows final Super Bowl. That Super Bowl, 35-28.
Damn, that was the final score, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Damn Simpsons.
and it was overtime. I think it was overtime or just regular. But it was like I was like, God.
All right, since the season hasn't started yet, who's winning the NBA Finals this year? You got to think about it. The Clippers
Clippers
are
are
now a
Lakers.
team,
Yeah.
hypothetically speaking, because we don't know yet. Toronto does not have Kawhi, of course, because he's in the Clippers.
The Nets aren't there yet because KD.
Yeah,
won't be
KD's not playing.
Well, I do think that
When
Kyrie
is
and
Klay Thompson gonna return?
I don't know. That's the thing
like
about
the second half of the
yeah,
season.
I think he'll be back in time.
like right before the All-Star break. I
If
think.
But-
they're good enough by then, it's gonna be
It
hard
depends.
to go against them.
It depends on how they play without him.
yeah.
Because all they have.
I
is,
don't think they can win without
All they
him.
have is Curry and Green.
and
And
D'Angelo Russell.
D'Angelo,
Yeah,
they did.
D'Angelo.
Yeah, he's cold blooded. So
Yeah.
who you picking? If you pick the Lakers, you're stupid.
I'm not
I
going
know
I
you're a
think-
LeBron fan,
no,
but they're not. At best, they're going to be fifth or fourth seed, and they're not going anywhere.
Well, I'll just say this: I don't know who to pick between them and the Clippers. Because
Do you
I think,
honestly think LA is?
think-
to. Clippers
it's-
are better than
You
them.
well, no, I
any-
think it's going to come down to those two in the West. I think the
Well, then-
the Rockets are
well-
too egotistical.
Well, if you already right here, if you think that it's going to come down to LA in the Western Conference Finals, the Clippers are going to win because Kawhi is going to shut down LeBron,
Well,
just like he did with San Antonio.
I'm just saying, I think it's going to come down to them. And for the East, I have no fucking idea.
I don't either. Boston's not winning it. Sorry, Kimba. Love you to death. Glad you're with us. But Kyrie couldn't take our.
Well, did you hear
Passes.
what he said about that?
Yeah, he's finally admitting fault, but once he's off the roster,
But also,
he was a
like,
cancer to the team.
but also, like, he's kind of like trying to blow or throw blame on the fact that, yeah, I mentally wasn't there because my grandpa died and I couldn't be it. Isaiah Thomas put up one of
Yeah.
the best games of his career when his freaking
Isaiah Thomas went ham the day his sister died.
Yeah.
Or the day after his sister died. He went to the funeral, flew back to Boston the same day,
And put up,
put up like
50
something points. Yeah. So, sorry, Kyrie.
That's not an
I'm
excuse.
glad you're gone. Go do your thing with KD when next year when he comes back, because he's not coming back this season.
Or at the very end.
No.
Oh.
They've already ruled him out for the whole entire
yeah.
season. I mean, look at dude's legs. His legs are as thick as my damn pinky
I
finger.
mean, they weren't much bigger than that at the beginning.
I'm surprised they haven't snapped somehow. He's got like no. He skips leg day.
Honestly,
He skips every day. He's thin as hell. He's thinner than a pencil.
I'm not saying this to be like, oh, hot take. Depending on how the two rookies play, I do think Atlanta could shock the East.
I think Atlanta could do really good this year, but
Especially if Trey plays like he did at the end of the season.
Reddish
Cam
and DeAndre
Reddish,
Hunter, that's gonna
yeah.
be a big pickup.
I don't know, because the East is a toss up ever since
Yeah.
LeBron
It's
left.
going to be Giannis, or it's going to be the Bucks
Yeah,
against someone else, unless
Bucks- this could be
Giannis
I mean,
gets hurt.
this could be the year the Bucks go.
Yeah, this could be the year that they could get it.
Or the Sixers, because they still have what's his name,
It's true.
Jimmy Buckets. They still got Jimmy.
No, he went to the Heat, didn't he?
Yeah, he's
Oh
at the
yeah,
Heat.
he did. Holy
Yeah.
shit!
Yeah, the 76ers is
Yeah, I
Ben
forgot.
Simmons and Embiid, JJ Redick, or did he go to?
I think JJ left too. I think he got traded.
He's either at New Orleans or
I
something.
think.
now.
I don't know. Either way, I don't know. I do agree. It's going to be Giannis versus
Yeah, I think
somebody.
Milwaukee's in there.
Don't know who.
Yeah, I don't want to pick a winner,
Oh,
and I'm
but-
definitely not going to say it's the fucking Knicks, like that dumbass that bet $5,000 on
I'll
them.
say
Well, he didn't. He's screwed if he loses because he owes $3 million.
No.
What was the collect? Is that
He wins $3 million if it's right.
Yeah.
He only loses $5,000 either way.
Well, he's lucky then, because I'd take all. I'd be like, yeah, you owe me $3 million, dumbass. You fucking goon.
no, because the odds are so against him.
Oh yeah, dude, he's got a big purse
he
if
wins
wins.
everybody's winnings.
But I mean, to think that the Knicks are going to win the finals, you got some balls, and you're retarded.
Yeah, the best person they could get was Julius Randle, and I think dude's good.
Well, no, they got
but
what's his face? They got Barrett. Isn't that what his last name is?
Oh,
RJ Barrett.
Yeah, they've got him, but
They're
that's
really
not
good.
enough to win.
Two people weren't enough.
Knox
Not
now.
not when you have the literally the Clippers team has
Well, that's two people.
and the best bench player or best six man in the entire
Oh,
league.
Lou Williams.
Yes.
But still, you gotta look at it this
and
way.
Patrick
Uh,
Beverly.
no, Patrick Beverly.
But still, you got Paul George, who a few years ago, MVP candidate, about took out the Heat, and then you got Kawhi, who is a
Beast.
yes, he's a beast, but he's also
Best defensive
a
player.
stopper of these team up guys. I mean, I'm not gonna say that the Warriors were a full team up. KD was the only team up person there, and Cousins,
Yeah.
and his bitch ass don't even play. He's hurt all year,
He's hurt again.
and then he goes to the Lakers
and
to chase rings. Not only immediately does he get hurt, but he's also threatening his baby mama that he's gonna put a bullet in her head. You didn't know about
Oh,
that?
yeah.
Yeah. He got
DeMarcus
married.
Cousins.
He got married
Yeah.
to Marcus Cousins. She wouldn't let his son be there. He wanted him to be his best man.
Okay, you know what?
She wouldn't
no,
let him,
good
and
on
he-
him. That's being a good father. He said it to his
no, you don't
Amen.
say shit like
Well,
that.
I know,
She-
no, I'm joking.
She's pressing charges against
Yeah.
him because he straight up said there's the video. You can look it up. He said, "All right, I'm gonna remember to put a bullet in your head," or something along
Look,
those.
I'm not
along
agreeing
those
with what he
lines.
said. I'm just saying, like, at least he's standing up for his kid. Wrong way to do it.
It is the wrong way to do it.
At least he's standing up
But-
for his son.
I mean, he's making the money. Let his kid be there. But like I was saying,
Yeah, who are you?
he goes.
Are you Gabrielle Union? Are you getting his ass?
He goes to chase rings, and he's not even playing. I mean, don't get me wrong. If they somehow do win, he's gonna get a ring because he was on the team. if they don't cut. No, I don't think you can't. You can't cut if they're hurt. Okay, who's winning the Super Bowl? Did we already go over that one?
More than likely New England again. Do we have to do this?
I'm rocking with my boy Mahomes.
I'd love to see him there.
I would love it too.
If they would have landed Ramsey instead of Denver,
Huh? He's
Jalen
going there?
Ramsey's
I
going
thought
to
they were
Denver.
just playing the other
Wait,
day.
since when?
I got an ESPN notification yesterday.
No, I got one that said that they-
Oh, was
No,
it?
no.
Oh.
The Jaguars turned down
You know,
two
it's like-
first-round
Damn
picks.
it.
The Jaguars turned down 2 first-round picks for him.
Wow, they're stupid.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, I mean, dude, they got Uncle Rico.
yeah.
All they got to do
Dude.
is get that man on page and be like, hey, Jalen,
If Tyler
time to
Minshew,
wake up.
if Minshew somehow pulls something out of his ass and they make it, I will root for the fucking Jaguars.
I just want some jorts. Dude's got an awesome stash.
Yeah.
Did you hear about the
Rico.
story about him working out in the guest locker
Yeah.
room in the fucking cup? Just a
Yeah.
cup? God.
He's crazy. Went to what, Washington
State.
State?
Yeah.
You play for Mike Leach. Something's got to be
Yeah.
Yeah,
up in
something.
your head.
Yeah, look at Michael Crabtree. Look at that hair. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ. So you're rolling with the Pats?
Yeah.
I don't.
It's going to be them in New England in the AFC again. I highly believe that. If they can pull something
Versus-
out of their ass. I
think-
don't know who's coming out of the NFC.
I think-
It ain't Dallas.
I'll
Sorry.
say I was- sorry.
I don't know.
Dude,
But-
I think they could do it, and I'm not saying that
I
because
think
I'm a
they could
fan.
too.
Well, we have to wait out the year
Yeah.
though, because you got to look at it. We're what, the 4th week in the
Yeah.
NFL.
Yeah.
Everybody's getting hurt. Big
Yeah.
Ben's out. Breeze is out. So you know the Saints ain't
Yeah.
going.
It depends on what happens tonight. Teddy Bridgewater could go out there and fucking light it up.
Well, I mean, he got his first career win last week, but I don't see him riding out the rest of the year and them winning it.
Yeah.
Vikings?
I don't think
You
so.
think
I
they're-
don't- I
They're
don't
they're
think-
playing such
they
weird
got a good-
football.
they
They're
got a
not
good
throwing the ball.
They got a good defense, but the thing is, I don't
The
really
Green Bay
believe
made
that
them
much
look like
in
a
Kirk
joke.
Cousins.
Yeah, because they're just wanting to run the ball with what's his name?
Dalvin Cook.
Dalvin Cook. I mean, who's their quarterback?
Kirk
Kirk
Cousins.
Kirk Cousins. You sign him all that money and you're not throwing
Yeah.
the ball.
He last week.
Who's their head coach?
I
Hey,
know.
hey, Minnesota's head coach. You're killing my fantasy league team because you're not throwing the ball to Stephon Diggs. You hear me?
My
I had to
team's-
bench him because he's not getting over 3 points a game.
my team's fucked.
Mike Zimmer, that's his name.
Yeah, Mike Zimmer, you fucking goon.
There's a lot of teams that are undefeated right now. Still.
There's only been like 4 games.
Yeah, but okay, but usually how often does that happen in the NFL that you have like 8
No, I don't
plus
think there's that many
teams?
in there that's still undefeated.
Well, I mean, normally around like halfway through the year, you still got about like 4 or 5 teams, and then they all just crumble. Well, not all of them. 2 or 3 won't crumble.
Well, they're saying the Patriots could go fucking undefeated again this year.
They won't go undefeated, but they're gonna.
The Patriots are the Patriots. Nobody watches hockey here, so can't ask who's winning
Red
the Stanley
Wings.
Cup.
I'm just kidding. I'm pretty sure they
The
suck.
Penguins.
The Predators. They were good 2 years ago.
The Blues, the St. Louis Blues.
Yeah.
Didn't they win it?
I think they won the
I
last.
think they won this past year. Let's just see here. See if it'll look. I'm winning right now, but I'm still projected to lose. Fournette is having a hell of a game for whoever this guy is. He's got 30.5 points.
Spencer's brother.
Yeah. So he's got me. Mahomes, you sucked it up in your first game inside of a dome.
The wind's not carrying his balls.
Hey, look at that. Stephon Diggs had 11 points. Probably should have played him. Oh, Tom Brady only had 4.7. I'm glad he's on the bench this game. He's normally-
College.
Oh, yeah. Who's winning? Well, predictions for your 4. Kyle, what you got as your final 4 in college football?
Ohio State.
As the number 1 seed?
No.
Okay.
This is just a random.
Okay.
I still see Clemson in there, and
Well, they got the weakest schedule.
yeah, I say
Apparently. They're winning all these struggle games.
Struggle.
the last spot will be Did I already do? Does do two?
No, you did too.
Ohio State, Clemson,
Well, I only heard two.
and Alabama, and then
So you got them beating LSU.
the thing is, that's the thing with my fourth team. It'll be between.
Well, that's the thing.
I think
It's
there's gonna be two
my
SEC
last
teams.
two spots
Yeah,
will
they're-
be between three SEC
I
teams.
agree with Derek. There's probably going to be two SEC teams in like there always is.
The Pac-12's
Ah.
Cal's not going undefeated.
They already lost.
Oh, well, good. Okay,
There is
so
no
there's no
undefeated.
undefeateds in the Pac-12. For Texas to get in, I think LSU has to get in.
Well, for Texas to get in, they got to win out.
Well, that
We gotta
and-
win out with a
no
lot of
defense.
injuries. Yeah,
No
a-
defense.
and all
Well-
of their injuries are on defense.
And s-
Starters. that
so-
play
so-
the
a
season.
couple wideouts.
So's Alabama, like-
Colin Johnson, but it's not hurt us so much on offense, but it's killing us on defense, and it's gonna really kill us come a couple of weeks playing in the state fair against Oklahoma. So I can probably already go ahead and rule us out of there, but I think but the by fourth spot would be between LSU and Georgia.
All right, and who you got in the championship game?
Dang, that's rough.
if
I
Georgia
guess I'm
score,
just-
they're going to play Ohio State.
You know what? I'll put Georgia in there. I'll say they make the playoff. They get in the championship against Clemson.
That'd be a good game. Derek, who's your four?
I'll go different. I don't know if I want to put these in order. Wisconsin.
Whoa.
Uh,
You got Wisconsin beating out Ohio State.
Yeah. I mean, maybe Michigan really is that god awful, but Wisconsin looked amazing against
but
them.
they didn't look good this week in a team that they should have lit up.
Yeah. I mean, I'm
just
just trying to
one
be
week.
different. Wisconsin, Texas, Auburn, LSU.
Damn, you got two SEC West teams.
I think-
that's going to be tricky
Yeah,
for the West.
I think
So what you're predicting is
Florida's going to get the shit beat out of them
not,
by Auburn
not
and
only that.
LSU.
So basically, what you're predicting is possibly
What happened when Alabama went
somehow. Well, that's what I'm getting to. The SEC is going to come down. The West is going to come down to LSU and Alabama,
in? No, I think it's
with Auburn third. But like,
No.
really, what I'm saying is, in the rankings,
I think that one team will be undefeated.
well, this is where I'm getting at. LSU is number 3,
Yeah.
Bama's 4, Auburn's 5.
Well,
Or in some way, but Alabama has to be number 4. They lose to either LSU or Auburn, and that's how LSU and Auburn would get in. That's basically what you're thinking.
I'm thinking
It's got to go that way with Alabama being number 4, and Auburn or LSU being 3 and 5. That'd be the only way Auburn makes that jump in. That's gonna be tough.
Yeah.
That's gonna be really tough.
Thing that's really killed me about putting Alabama in there is I looked at an Alabama sports page yesterday, and they are
they're
saying
giving up so much points.
that's the thing. They are saying this could potentially, this is going on record to be Nick Saban's worst defense that he's had in the entire time he's been at Alabama.
But he also
So it
has,
makes you wonder how they're going to play when they're going up against Joe Burrow and all those elite receivers from LSU.
they're going to rely on Tua to throw the fucking ball all game.
But
you
that
get
doesn't
you
mean
can't get
anything.
in a shootout
Yeah,
with
you
them.
can't get in a shootout
Your defense.
if your defense is bad because
But the thing is, and I think by halfway through the season they'll be a little bit better. They have like 12 injuries on defense, and they had like 8 starting the
injuries
season.
injuries do matter, but we'll just have to see. My 4, hate to say it, Alabama's obviously going to be there. I mean, let's be honest, the BCS and the college playoff committee whatever committee. They're a bunch of fools anyway.
Yeah.
They're going to put Alabama in regardless. They didn't win the SEC the other year, and they were in.
Well,
And
that's what I was
but-
projecting Bama to lose twice.
well, that's fine. But their thing in the early years of the playoff was if you don't win your conference championship, you don't get in. Because whenever the playoff first started was when Baylor and TCU
Got left out.
were running Texas. They were
TCU
running.
won the Big 12.
Yeah, they were
They
running.
were undefeated, weren't they?
No, they lost
They
one.
they
game.
were running the state of Texas, but they told them, "Oh, well, you don't have a conference championship game. You only won your conference outright.
Yeah.
You're not getting in that way." So Alabama's going to be in there regardless. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Oklahoma will be in there.
Well, that's all I went ahead and said. Texas. I would rather see Texas.
I would too, but
Although
with their injuries, I don't see them. The way Jalen's playing,
if it comes down to Oklahoma and Alabama, I can't believe I'm saying
I
this,
wanna
but
see
I'll
that
root for
game.
Oklahoma.
I wanna see that game.
I want to see Jalen put up 700 yards of offense on Bama
I
State.
would like to see that game. That'll be a game for sure. Alabama, Oklahoma. Clemson has the easiest schedule here out, unless they somehow get upset. I don't see them.
Hey, Wake Forest is undefeated.
Shut the fuck
They are.
up. Just shut up. My fourth one. I think somehow Georgia's going to squeak in.
Yeah.
I don't see because
you
but
want to know
here's the
something? How
thing.
two SEC teams can get in easy?
Yes, one of them has to go undefeated. For Alabama to get in and Georgia to get in, Alabama has to lose now, lose soon, because they're what, 2? Are they second? Because Clemson's number 1, right? Alabama's ranked number 2.
No, they're
Yeah,
ranked
I know
one now.
Alabama's ranked-
Yeah, they went
Yeah.
up there.
Okay.
They flipped
So say they lose, they got who next?
Fuck, I don't know.
They got A&M next. They're not losing to A&M. They have to lose to A&M this week if they do get a
They
one.
lost to Auburn and still made it into the fucking play. The game, didn't have a game to recover,
Right.
to look better, and
But-
still made it in.
Cause see, Georgia's winning the East. We know that.
Well, here's how two teams can get in easy. Florida has to beat either Auburn or LSU, and then Auburn has Florida has to beat Auburn. Auburn has to lose, and then Georgia has to beat Auburn, but Auburn has to knock out one of those other two teams.
But still, Georgia has to win the SEC to get in. That's what I'm saying.
You either have to have a one-loss Florida sitting out of the thing or a one-loss SEC West team, and hope they played so good the rest of the season that they put them in.
That's what I'm saying. Like if Alabama loses, not this week because they got a bye week, but next week to A&M, they're probably going to drop to like 5. Or
If they lose to
probably not
A&M,
even that.
No, if they lose to A&M right now, they'll probably drop to.
2. Let's be real. They're not dropping out of the top 5.
Yeah, I think they
won't.
will.
They won't.
A&M's 25.
They won't. They won't.
And
It's
they're on
Alabama.
3 straight losses.
It is Alabama. They love Alabama. They're not going to drop them out of the top 5. Georgia has to win the SEC against LSU for Alabama and Georgia to be in it. If
I don't want Alabama to
if
be in
Alabama is a one-loss team, that's how it has to happen. But I don't see Alabama losing. I think the LSU game is going to be a high-scoring game, unless Alabama's defense is still the way they are. It'll just be a high-scoring game on LSU's part
Yeah.
because they're putting up points and they can do that. My fourth team, who did I say? I've got Alabama,
you said you got
Oklahoma,
Georgia
Clemson,
squeaking
and
in.
Georgia. My winner, God dang, I really want to see. I want to see Jalen go out. I want to see Jalen with the Heisman and then lifting up the trophy at the end of the year. That's what I want. Do I think it's going to happen? No.
Well, if
Unfortunately-
Jalen wins the Heisman and the chant, he'll be the first one since Tebow? No, Derrick Henry?
I think so.
No, Cam.
no.
Cam.
No, Derrick Henry came after Cam.
Yeah, he
Did he?
That was
Yeah.
25th. 14,
Yeah.
13.
Oh.
Um,
Okay, yeah.
Deshaun got screwed that year. Just saying.
Yeah. I don't know. This year is iffy too because
I think Clemson can
there's
No, the thing is, I want to see Georgia winning in that final game that I had. But the thing is, Clemson, when games matter,
they're a
don't
different
lose.
team.
They do what
They
they
are-
did against
and
Alabama.
I don't see anyone being able to offend those big,
Well,
great NFL receivers they got.
Not
on the
only
team.
what you just said, they did what they do against Alabama. They did what they do against North Carolina last night. They make the play when it matters the most. You go for two, which I say you do.
I do too.
If you're Mac Brown, it's your first year back, you're playing the number one team, you go for that 2-point conversion. If you're not Mac Brown, you go for that 2-point conversion. You want to knock off the
Unless
number
you're
one
Steve
team.
Cockburn, then you go for one at home and two away because you don't go for it.
Either way,
very
it
long.
doesn't matter. You go for two, in my opinion. You knock off that number one team. The number one team better show up on that
Yeah.
2-point conversion. And they did, struggle win or not. They made the
nothing
play.
New. It's nothing new for them. They've done it twice with Syracuse. They've struggled, and Pitt,
Yep.
and it's nothing new for them. They just come back stronger after those games.
I hope something snaps and Will Muschamp just decides, oh, we're gonna play ball this time, and South Carolina beats Clemson and knock them out at the last possible second.
I don't see that happening. I don't see it happening.
Hey,
Well,
we can hope.
we can hope. That's the show, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, and Atlanta United for the
Yeah.
MLS, even though I think they're not in it.
Yeah, go United, that's for sure. Well, hope y'all have a fantastic Sunday. Rest of Sunday, have a fantastic Monday morning. Or just Monday in general, because Mondays suck dick.
Yeah.
We'll hear from you later on in the week.
Bye. See you later.
Thank
See
you.
ya. Peace out.